Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's come to the mat. We're going to start in a seated position. Again, if you need to sit on a brick or you want to sit on a pillow, whatever is comfortable to you. Let's just move our skin away from our sits bones. You can even sit on a chair here as long as it's a firm chair and you're sitting up nice and tall. And let's close our eyes. Relax our shoulders, relax our jaw, and focus on the breath. Hands just loosely on your knees. And if you'd like to set an intention for your class today, please do so now. And keeping your eyes closed, we're going to start with a breathing exercise as we always do. And this one is called Viloma. It means against the grain. If you have high blood pressure or hypertension, probably just sit this one out, just do some long, relaxed breathing with us, because there is a retention part of it. And what it involves is we're going to, on the first inhalation, we're going to inhale deep in the belly, just about a third of the lungs, and hold. Then we'll fill up the second third of the lungs, expanding the rib cage, and hold. And then finally, the top third of the lungs, hold. And then we'll squeeze the stale out in opposite direction from the top, the middle, and the bottom. So let's just take a couple of resting breaths, breathing in the cool air through the nose. And exhaling again through the nose. Feeling the warm air as it leaves your body. Again, inhale, preparatory breath. And exhaling through the nose. On your next inhalation, inhale deeply in the belly, filling just a third of the lungs, and hold. Now fill the second third, expanding the sides of the rib cage, and hold. Now filling the top of the lungs as much as you can possibly get into your lungs, and hold. And then release top, middle, bottom, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all the stale air out. Inhale, release, and return to normal breathing. Take a couple of resting breaths here. Again, working on increasing our prana capacity, working on our lungs, increasing the flow of oxygen to all of our vital organs. One more preparatory breath. Exhale. And begin inhaling through the lower belly and hold. Inhale now through the middle of the rib cage and hold. Inhaling the tops of the lungs as much as you can possibly get into your lungs and hold. And then exhale, top, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze through the middle of the rib cage and the belly on completely on empty. And then release and return to normal breathing. Noticing the sensations as you enjoy this invigorating breath. Make sure you're relaxing the shoulders. Let's take another preparatory breath in through the nose. And exhale. Final time. Inhale, lower third of the lungs and hold. Middle third of the lungs, expanding that rib cage and hold. Inhaling the top of the lungs as much as you can possibly sip in. Hold. And then exhale, top, middle, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeezing into the Uddiyana, the core bandha. Release the bandhas and return to normal breathing. You may notice a little buzzing sensation here, a little bit of maybe a little bit of a high. That's totally typical and is one of the benefits of our breathing exercise. Now let's keeping the eyes closed. Let's drop the chin to the chest, shoulders down, relax. Inhale to the right. Let's do some neck rolls. Inhale as we're breathing. And at the top, exhale, keep those shoulders down. Inhale again to the right. Relax your face as you exhale down to the other side. Inhale again. And exhale. Coming to lower center. Let's go the other way now. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. Just noticing any spots in your neck joint that might be tight. Feel free to spend a little bit of extra time in those areas. Inhale for a third time. Check your teeth. Make sure there's space between your teeth and you're not clenching. And exhale down. Come to bring your head, you can open your eyes, bring your head up level. Let's bring our hands onto our shoulders and just do some gentle shoulder rolls. Again, just sensing the joint, focusing on any tightness and making nice big circles with the elbows to get a full range of motion. Go the other way. And release, shake it out. Let's bring the shoulders up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze up as high as you can. Try to keep the face relaxed here. And then exhale, push those shoulders down, give resistance and push them down, force them down, making space. Release, inhale up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Your chin is level with the floor. And exhale, pressing them down. Release and shake one more time. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale down. Interlocking your fingers in front of you. Let's do some gentle wrist rolls. Go one way. And then the other way. Shake it out. Bring the hands together. Namaste prayer. Lift up the elbows. Press. Get a nice stretch in the wrist joint. And then the other way. Gentle pressure here. And shake it out. Interlock. Let's look up, or excuse me, looking up with the hands on the knees, looking up, arching the spine forward. Now exhale, pressing the lower and back out, flexing the spine. Inhale up. And exhale back. Really pressing out, feeling the spine flex one way, then the other way. Inhale up. And exhale down. Come to center, interlock your fingers, press them out, and press out that spot between the shoulder blades, feeling that thoracic flexion there. And then shake the hands out, whatever thumb was on top, interlock the fingers the other way, press again, exhale. And release, shrug it out. Let's come over onto all fours, spread your knees, and come into our child pose. Again, using any props you may need. If your head doesn't touch the floor, you can use a brick under it to support. This is a resting and breathing pose, and also a nice little stretch. If you're having trouble with the knees, you can place something under the knee for padding and support, or behind them if the angle is too strong for you. Hands can be either in front of you or behind. And breathe.
Again, breathing through the nose, feeling the rise of the back of the body now as the ribs expand with air in the back. And exhale. Now, taking the hands in front of you, if they're not already, you're going to walk them. You have to lift the head a little bit. We're going to walk them to the side. Keep the hips where they are. We're going to find a stretch. I'm going to the right with my hands, finding a stretch on the left side of my body. And continue to breathe. Just find a comfortable stretch on that side. Keeping the hips down. And breathe. And let's walk the hands now back to the center and go to the other side. So again, just sort of walking the fingers over to the other side. I'm going to the left with my hand, so I'm feeling a stretch in the right, pressing down through the hips. Find that stretch, the side of the body, and breathe. And exhale, come back to center. Interlocking your fingers behind your back. Let's inhale and open the shoulders, lifting the hands above the back. Now, you may not be able to go very far up. That's fine. You may need to bend the elbows. That's fine. We're just opening the shoulders, the heart space, the chest a little bit here. Keep the face relaxed. And breathe. Now, noticing which thumb is on top as you interlock your fingers, change the grip so that the other thumb is on top. Same thing, inhale up. Finding a nice stretch here, opening the shoulders, feeling them pulling back. Maybe even just a little more. Don't do anything crazy. You don't want to hurt yourself, but just get a nice stretch here and release. Bringing the hands out, you can shrug your shoulders a little bit to loosen them up. Bring your hands out in front of you, and I'm going to turn to the side here. Bring your hands out. My knees are about hip width apart. My hands are out at an angle farther than my shoulders, and my fingers are pointed, spread and pointed to like a 45-degree angle. And actually, take a nice wide stance with the hands. My hips are off my feet. I'm on my knees. Slowly begin to turn to your left. I'm mirroring you here. You may have to adjust that hand, bringing the shoulder and the side of the cheek to the floor. Now, you may not be able to do this. Just get as close as you can. Take a couple breaths here. Try the release into it. Maybe adjust the hands a little wider. And press up, come back to center. We're going to do the other side. Again, adjusting your hand position so that you can get as close to the floor with the other cheek and the other shoulder as possible. Make sure you're relaxing the hips as well. And you can stay in either one of these sides if you have a shoulder issue and just work it out a little bit, just breathe through it. But to move on, we're just going to do some back and forth here. Once we find our hand position, just go back and forth, just working into those shoulders. And again, don't worry if you can't touch the floor, the shoulder. Just work wherever you are. Try to get maybe a little bit more mobility there. And come up to center. I'm going to come back into our, actually, let's stay on our all fours here. I'm going to take my hands a little closer now. They're about shoulder width apart. Fingers are spread. I'm going to come back into child. So my knees are nice and wide. And then, oh, that was a nice knee crack. Then we're going to come up, bring the shoulders up over the hands and keeping the elbows close to the body. Just come down, half push up, press up, and then press through the hands to come back to child. Do this nice and slow, especially if you have knee issues, but just a little bit of strength here, keeping the elbows in towards the body, ideally getting as low as bringing the torso to the elbows, and press back and forth. Let's do 5, 6, 7 of these. A little bit of strength. Press up strong through the hands, and then stretch back into the lower back. And breathe, exhale down. Inhale, pushing up. Exhale back into child. And inhale forward. Pressing up. And then let's come to center. Coming down onto your bellies, bringing your hands out to the side, palms down. We're going to turn with our head to the side. So just a gentle neck stretch here. My arms are out like an airplane. My palms are down. You can wiggle your hips or take any little movements you'd like here to settle into the floor. If you have trouble laying on your belly on the floor, you can also try some padding. Either double the mat, put a blanket, or even a pillow if you need. Some people that's strong on the lower back. We're just letting gravity do its thing here, giving us a gentle neck stretch to one side and breathing, of course. And then let's turn to the other side. Noticing how maybe one side is a little bit more ouchy than the other. Breathe into it. And then next exhalation, bring your hands in and make like a diamond shape with your fingers, touching your toes and your thumbs together. Put the fingers down and place your forehead in that little pillow that you're making with your hands. Bring your feet up behind you, and we're just going to swim the feet just back and forth, or excuse me, up and down like we're swimming. Loosening up the lower back. And then bring both feet up with the soles of your feet facing the sky. And then let's do some windshield wipers back and forth. Actually, I guess it would be side to side. So windshield wipers, side to side. Again, just gentle movements here. Noticing how your lower back feels today. And then come back to center. Now, bringing your right knee up to the side, sort of like a half frog. I'm bending my right knee and bringing it up, just pulling it up as far as is comfortable. My body is still belly down. I'm trying to keep both hip bones on the floor. Now, the right foot is coming up on my side, so my right hip bone is a little off the floor. Just working on opening up that hip, pelvic bones, and breathe. And don't worry if your knee does not come up very far. Just work whatever mobility you have. And then let's release that leg, bring it back down behind you. We'll do the other leg. Shake out your hips a little bit. Now bring the other knee on the left side up beside you as far as is comfortable. Just feeling, noticing how that leg feels, that hip feels. Noticing where your pelvic bones are. Are they lifted up? Can you focus on pressing them into the ground, into the floor? Relax your shoulders here and your jaw. And let's bring the leg back to the other. Pressing ourselves into, coming up onto all fours. With your hands under your shoulders, and we're going to stick one leg out. I call these Tootsie Rolls. We're just going to press out. I'm on the back of my toes, if you can see there. Yep. Move those guys so you can see. And I'm pressing down, pressing back with the heel, stretching the back of the leg. Nice stretch in the back of the calves. And then we're going to roll over the toes and press on the tops of the toes, maybe turning the foot so you can really press down on the little toes. And then press again, getting a nice stretch. And then rolling directly over the toes, loosening up those toes. Shake it out. Let's do the other side. Now kick back with the other leg underneath the toes. Find that stretch in the calves. And then rolling forward over the toes, rolling down into the other toes, getting a nice stretch there. And then pressing it out. And breathing. And up. And release. Bring your knees under your hips. We're going to do some bird dog variation. So your hands are spread and underneath your shoulders. Transferring the weight onto the left knee. We're going to lift the right knee up to the side. These are fire hydrants. And down, nice and slow. It's harder slow. Up and down. Inhale up again. We're trying to keep the back level as though you have a glass of water on your back and you don't want to spill it. And down. I don't know how many that was, 6, 8, something like that. Inhale the other side, lift. Check your hips that they're not rolling. Really lifting from the thigh muscles, the inner thigh muscles, and breathe. And down. Now extend your right leg again, heel back. Actually, it doesn't matter whether it's heel back or pointed, but you want your foot to be on about the same level as your hip. We're going to cross over the back leg, touch the ground, rainbow over, touch the other side. Back. Again, keeping the torso as level as possible and doing these slow. Really work the hips, the glutes, and your back. Rainbow around. Couple more. And come to center. Wiggle it out. Let's do the other leg. Extend the foot. And now we're going to cross over the leg behind, touch the floor, making an arch, a rainbow, and touching the other side. Check those hips that they're nice and level. Now, if you can only do a couple of these, that's fine. You do as many as feels comfortable. You want to work the body, but you don't want to stress it.
You do a few today, maybe you can do an extra one or two the next time you practice, building up strength and mobility. And let's come to center. Maybe shake your hands out if that's hard on the wrists. Hands back down, fingers pointed with your 2s and 3s sort of towards the front of the mat. Spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, press up into downward facing dog. We're going to do a few breaths here. Now walk your dog, bend your knees, relax your head, shake it yes and no. Make sure you're not holding tension there. Make sure you have a nice wide stance that the space between the distance rather between your hands and your feet is wide enough to get a nice triangle. We're stretching the entire back of the body. Maybe come up on your toes and then pressing the heels back towards the ground. This is also, of course, a strength exercise because it's working the shoulders and the arms. Now, in honor of the impending Halloween, I'm going to reach with my hand with my right hand over to my left hip. This is werewolf dog. And maybe if you're comfortable there, stretching the hand down to the ankle, finding a little bit more twist rather, and looking under that opposing arm. Come back to center. Other side. Again, I'm reaching over to my hip with my reaching my right hip with my left hand. Looking under my arm. If it is available to you, reaching down to the ankle, giving yourself a little twist. And then let's come back to center. Now bend your knees, come up onto your fingertips, and tiptoe up to the front of your mat, coming into our forward fold. Now, if that's hard for you, you can simply step to the front of your mat and continue to work on that until you're able to, the body opens up. Coming into our forward fold, Uttanasana. Again, if you need a brick, if it's hard for you to hinge from the hips and have the hands on the floor, bend those knees, bend them as much as you need. Feet are about hip width apart so that you can get the hands down for support. You can also use a brick to hold on to here. That's fine. Relax the head and breathe. Gentle sways from side to side. On your next inhale, keeping your knees soft, bring your hands to your hips. Engage your core, press through your heels, and hinge up to a standing position. Grabbing your belt. Sorry, I gotta take my sweater off here. It's starting to get warm. Grabbing your belt now. And just hold on to it. I'll face you here. Coming into our mountain pose. Bring your big toes together so that they touch. And the outside of our feet is parallel with the sides of the mat. So that means you might have a little gap there between your ankles. That's totally fine. Hands at your side. Close your eyes or soften them if you need to keep them awake, open a little bit for balance. Coming to your breathing. Lifting and spreading the toes and then placing them back down onto the floor, establishing a firm grip and foundation for the body. Now begin to pull up the energy from the earth, lifting through the arches, feeling that golden light come up through the body, engaging the kneecaps, invigorating the thighs, strong legs. Now we're building a mighty mountain pose. Now pulling at the Mula Bandha up into the body, that's in the perineal muscle area, pulling that up and supporting our organs, engaging that. That's our root lock. Engaging now at the core, pulling in and up towards the back of the spine, the Uddiyana Bandha, allowing the energy to now rise up through the back of the spine. Engaging the third major lock, which is to the Jalandhara Bandha, pulling the chin in just a little bit and allowing that energy to now flow up through the back of the neck and out through the crown of the head, connecting us earth to sky, sky to earth. Coming to our Ujjayi breathing, that victorious breath, that little sound like the sound of crashing waves that you make at the back of the throat. Our victorious breath. Now opening your eyes, maintain your mountain pose. Let's take the belt. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. Place the belt under your armpits on either side, around your back, and then bring each end to the front so that you've got about, it's evenly on each side. Holding the hands at your chest. Inhale, let's pull the arms up, pull the belt up with tension, up at an angle, and find some space in the spine. This should feel wonderful. Just making space in the spine. Relax the head, look up towards the hands, and enjoy this lengthening. Really feeling the stretch, making space between the ribs. One more breath. And release. And you can place the belt at the side. I always feel taller after I do that. I love that. Taking a step apart with your feet so that your feet are about hip width apart, and we're at the front of the mat. We're going to work on a sun salutation, a Surya Namaskar. Very simple. Sun salutations work just about every part of the body and are a wonderful thing to do, especially in the morning. They're originally a form of prayer, but it certainly can be just a wonderful way to get engage the whole body on a daily basis. So with your hands at your side, inhale, let's bring the arms up to the sky. Now hinging from the hips, I'm keeping that length that we just found in the spine, and I'm hinging down, bringing the hands to the floor. Soften your knees if you need to get the hands to the floor. Stay a moment here again. You can grab a brick if you need to here. Just do a little stretching out, release the head. If you're fine with the legs straight, that's fine too. Again, you can work it and play with this a little bit. Uttanasana, or forward fold. On your next inhale, let's come up onto the fingertips and lift the torso up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, finding just a little bit more length in the spine, and then exhale back down into our forward fold. Bringing the hands to the floor, again, bending your knees as much as you need to. I'm going to step back with my left foot, then step back with my right foot. Feet are about hip width apart. Inhale, roll the shoulders over the hands. Make any adjustments you need here. And exhale, drop the knees, the chest, and the chin to the floor. The slower you do it, the harder it is, the more you're getting a little bit of an arm workout. But you can also just come down however your body is ready for. Inhale, we're going to lift the forehead, looking forward, engaging the muscles along the spine and the back, including your glutes and your hips, and lift the arms, squeezing the shoulders together, the elbows together behind your back. Inhale, this is baby cobra. We're working the muscles and strengthening the back. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Now in that whole thing, my feet and my legs are on the ground. My torso or my hips are on the ground. I'm just lifting the hands and the head. Inhale, lift the hands. Spread the fingers and pull those pinkies back. And lift the head and breathe. Squeeze, 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 working the back of the body. And exhale down. On your next inhale, we're going to press through the hands and come back into child. Spread your knees. Come back into child for 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Exhale. On your next inhalation, bring the hands out front. Spread your fingers. Take a nice wide stance. Tuck your toes. Come into downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Walk your dog. Inhale for 2. Strong arms. Press those hips up to the sky. Exhale for 2. Inhale, maybe coming up on your toes if you'd like to get another stretch there. Press those hips up and exhale. Strong arms. Inhale for 4. And exhale, shake out your head. Yes and no. Inhale for 5. Last breath. And exhale. Now, again, bend the knees. Come up onto your fingertips. Walk the feet to the front of the mat, coming into our forward fold using whatever props you need. Feet are hip width apart, hinging from the hips, taking any little sways, little movements to relax the chin, the neck. And then inhale, coming up onto our fingertips, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway, finding more length in the spine. Exhale down. Inhale, engage your core, press through the heels, come up to standing. Now, right back, we're going to go and do the other side. Inhale, the arms rise, and exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees. Inhale, up halfway, and exhale down. Again, using whatever props here and doing it at your own speed. We're in class, so I'm going to move us along, but if you're watching this on video, you can move a little slower if you care to do so. Placing the hands on the mat, inhale, step back with the other foot now, the right foot, then exhale, step back with the left foot. Inhale, rolling the shoulders over the hands, and exhale, drop the the knees, the chest, and the chin to the floor. Inhale, let's lift the head, the hands, squeeze through the back of the body, bring those elbows in as close as you can as though you're trying to touch them behind the body, and breathe. For 2 breaths, inhale, squeeze, 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 and lift, and exhale down. One more time on baby cobra. Inhale, head, hands, squeeze, and breathe. Inhale, and down. Now this time we're going to add cobra, baby cobra. We're going to lift the feet, the hands, and the head. Squeeze every muscle along the spine, from the backs of the legs up to back of the legs up to the top of the spine. Squeeze, 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 and down. One more time. Inhale, lift the feet, hands, head. Feet don't have to be that far off the floor. It's just wherever you're finding a nice stretch, or it's not really a stretch, it's a strengthener for your back, wherever you're feeling it. And down. Let's take a resting breath here. Those are obviously for strengthening the back of the body, so important in avoiding injury and back pain. On your next inhale, let's press through the hands, come back into our child, spread your knees, and breathe. Taking any little wiggles or jiggles you need here, just to relax, shake out your shoulders. One more breath.
And exhale. Bringing the hands to the front of the body. Spreading your fingers, tucking your toes, come into down dog with 5 breaths. Inhale. And exhale, pressing those hips to the sky, pressing through the fingers. And exhale for 2, shake your head no and yes. Inhale. And exhale, strong hands, strong arms. Inhale. If you can't do 5 breaths, do as many as you can and build up to it. It is a practice. Inhale one more time. And exhale. I think that's 5. So let's bend the knees. Again, we're going to come up onto our fingertips, walk the feet to the front of the mat, coming into our forward fold using whatever props you need, bending those knees so that you can bring the hands to the floor for support. Release the head. Inhale, come up on the fingertips, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up, finding length, and exhale down. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips, engage your core, press through the heels, and hinge up to standing, bringing your hands to your heart. Keep your eyes closed for another moment. Samasthiti, all things inert, and breathe. Just noticing the invigorated feeling your body has, feeling of energy and light flowing through your body, and enjoy. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. While we are standing, with our feet apart, about hip width apart, and a good foundation. Let's inhale, bring the arms up. Just move this up. Grabbing your left wrist with your right hand. Placing I'm mirroring you, so I should do it this way. So okay, left with right hand. And pressing through this right heel, pressing down, pull up with that arm, and then over. Keep that length. And then let's get a bend there too. Feeling a nice stretch in the side of the body. Breathe, relax your jaw. And release, shrug it out. Let's do the other side. Inhale, arms rise, grab the opposite wrist, pulling up, pressing down with that foot, this foot, pulling up and then over, finding that space. And then let's release. Coming to our tree, Vrikshasana, you may want to be close to something you can hold on to if you have trouble with your balance. If not, we want to bring our weight onto, I guess I'm opposite there, mirroring you, that would be your left foot. Relax the right, find a drishti or a point of focus on the ground. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale. Now, there are stages of tree. It's a balance. Hard to talk and balance at the same time, but I will give it my best shot. You can just lift the heel and be on your toe with the heel against the other foot and see how that works for you as far as your balance. You can also, I guess you should have your hands on your hip, take the foot, press it against the thigh of the other leg, then bring the hands to the heart and breathe. Squeezing the core here. The more you squeeze, the more you use your core, the easier your balance is. Breathe. And release. Let's do the other side. Now again, placing the weight of your body on the other leg, lifting your left leg. Again, if you're comfortable just trying this and maybe just lifting your toe momentarily just till you get your balance, that's fine. Make sure you find a
point of focus, a drishti. If you'd like to lift the leg, we'll do that. And down. Lifting the hands up above the head is a little harder, so it's something you can play with this week as you're going through your practice. Standing at the front of your mat, again with the hands in Namaste prayer. I'm going to take a step back, a lunge back. My front knee is bent, my back leg is straight, and I'm stepping back with my right foot, so I'm going to do a turn to the left. Coming back, pressing through the heel and coming to the front. Now I'm going to step back again. My feet are about, or you have to get some nice width here for your balance. Now I'm going to turn to the other side. Step forward. Now step back again, twist to the left. Come to the front, twist to the right. Balance and leg work here. Let's do about 5 on each side. With the breath. Finding your balance. And 4, I think that's 4. Let's do one more. To the back. And front and final side. And forward. Now, keeping the hands in Namaste prayer, we're going to step back on the right knee, step back on the left knee, press through, bring the front foot up, press through that heel, engage your core, and come up to standing. Now we're going to step back with the left foot, come onto the left knee, bring back the right knee. Step back forward with the left foot, press through the heel, and bring the other foot up. And let's just do a few of these reverse lunges. Controlled, slower is harder. Right foot forward, press through the heel and engage. Engage your core as you're doing these. Other leg. If this is hard on your knees, feel free to use a blanket under your knees to cushion it a little bit. Yep, we always lead with the same leg. I'm not sure I'm doing that. But yes, so right foot back, left foot back, right foot forward, press, engage, left foot forward. Okay, shake it out. And lifting the right leg up, we're going to touch the toe with the left arm. Just do some of these windmills, touching the toe. If you can, just do the best you can. Getting some nice, making some nice circles with the arms. Engaging your core. Lifting that leg. I think I'm doing one more is 10, I think. And come to center. Great, shake it out. Grabbing your belt again. Okay. Grabbing your belt and taking a nice wide stance. We're going to do some, I think they call the shoulder floss. Just going to go back with the arms. So having a grip on the belt so you can keep your arms straight and go over the head. And keeping your chin level with the floor. And just floss into the shoulder sockets. And breathe. If you have one shoulder that's bothering you, you can do This sort of thing, just work on one. This one. And you can release. With your hands, let's just touch the back of our bodies. I'll turn sideways, just touching our shoulders and then releasing, swinging the arms back, really let them swing back on their own. And breathe. Don't neglect that backward swing. Okay, then we're going to take the arms out. We're going to hit the opposite shoulder. So first I have my right shoulder on top, then I'm going to open the arms, switch the arms. So opposite rotating shoulder hugs. Again, letting the arms swing open, using that energy. And release, shrug that out. Some gentle, bend your knees, and let's just do some gentle side to sides, letting the hands hit the side of the body. You can do this on the lower, having the hands lower so that it's sort of hitting your waist. You can also bring the arms up and have them hitting the opposite shoulders. But again, ragdoll arms, just letting them swing. And shrug it out. Let's grab our belt one more time. Now, grabbing the belt and doing it about halfway, maybe twice, so that you have a length about this far. We're going to bring it up, drop it behind our head, grab it with the other hand. So I'm just doing this. Pull this upper shoulder back, get a nice opening. You can play with this. You can pull it up and down. Keep your chin level with the floor and get a nice stretch there. Now let's do the other side, dropping the other elbow down, grabbing it with the other hand. Again, working that shoulder, pulling the one back. Just some things that you can use if you do want to work on your shoulders a little bit. All of these are good for that. And let's release. Coming up to the front of our mat. Let's inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, hinging down to the floor. Bend your knees. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees. And let's step back onto our knees and then roll around onto the floor. Grab your belt. So extend your left leg and bring your right leg up and put the belt around your foot so that it's over the arch of your foot. Get yourself situated so that your extended leg is comfortable. Bring your, I'm holding my right foot with my right hand, the belt is around. I'm taking my left arm over, palm down for support, and I'm going to begin to drop that extended leg over to the side. Maybe bringing my elbow onto the floor and then just letting that leg hang, if that's available. Now, some of you that might not, you may have to just hold it where it is. You can use a pillow under your elbow to support the leg. And our goal here is to try to keep the pelvic bones pointing towards the sky. So keeping both hips down onto the floor as much as possible. And you can use your left hand on that hip bone if you'd like, just to feel it, maybe press down a little bit. Just a wonderful opener. You can stay in this position for several minutes if you like, but in the interest of time today, we're going to move a bit. So then bringing the leg up to center. Now I'm going to take the belt with the other hand. I'm going to place my right arm down onto the floor. This time my hips will come off the floor. My right hip will come off the floor. As I roll to the other side, come down onto my elbow, let the leg hang there suspended for a gentle twist here.
Again, this is all just should feel very good, very comfy, nice stretch, opening up the lower back. And breathe. And let's come back up to center. Now taking the belt, let's take one foot out, put the other foot in, extend now the other leg. We're going to do the same thing, except the other side. I have my left arm holding the belt for my left leg. My right arm is out to the side and down, palm down for support. And I'm going to gently lower that leg out to the side, checking my hip bones, trying to keep them parallel with the floor, pressing down. This one is definitely not as cooperative as my other side. And that's the way bodies are. They're uneven, generally. Breathe, relax the chin. And when you're ready, let's bring it up to center again. Now we're going to switch hands. Now I'm going to hold the belt with my right hand, extend my left arm for support, and let the leg come over across the body onto the right side. My right elbow goes down, and I'm just going to let it hold the loop there, let the leg hang in the loop. My left hip is up off the ground now because this is a different stretch. Twist. And when you're ready, bring the feet up. Now let's put both feet in. Hold the belt with both hands and just gentle pressure, just a gentle pulling on the feet here. You know, you may not be able to extend your legs, but play with it. Bend them, maybe press them out. Get a little bit of that stretch here. Maybe work your hands up on the belt to get a little bit more of a stretch. Just wherever it feels good to you and you feel like you're getting a nice stretch in the back of the body. This is also good for sciatica and any of that lower hip, glute area pain, low back that we sometimes have. And breathe. And release, bend your knees, take the belt off. And you can place it to the side. Bringing your knees up over your body, making sure, I'm rooting around a little bit here, making sure that I'm on the small of my back and stay there. If you're not, then bring your knees up a little higher over your body. And I'm kicking my heels out, so flexing my feet, hands are on my thighs. As I press my right thigh and foot out, I'm also creating tension, pressing the thigh against the hand. Engage your core, keep the small of the back on the floor. Bring that one back again. It's one of those isometric kind of things. You're creating your own resistance. And then do the other side. Just some pedal pushing again. Should really be feeling some nice core work here. It's slow. It doesn't have to be fast. And in fact, slow is harder. Resisting with the foot, with the thigh as you press with the hands and feeling that work. And do a bunch of those, as many as feels comfortable and as many as you can do, keeping the small of the back close to the floor. And when you're ready, bring your hips or your knees in, give yourself a little hug, interlock the fingers over the knees, do some circles there. Bring your feet down to the floor, hands at your side, lift your hips, give them a little wiggle and jiggle. Down, inhale, lift and wiggle and jiggle. And down one more time, lift the hips, press to the toes, jiggle everything around. And then we can bring the hips down, extend the legs.
Coming into our Shavasana, our corpse pose. Let's take any final movements you might want to make to be comfortable. Our conscious relaxation, where the body absorbs the work that we've done. The brain synapses absorb that knowledge that we can relax and strengthen the body. Come to that quiet space in the mind and use normal breathing here, but just consciously checking the body, making sure you're not holding any tension anywhere. Check your ankles, check your knees and your thighs, check your hips. We hold a lot of tension in our hips. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and heavy against the floor. Arms are dead weight. Space between the teeth. And breathe. And when you're ready, begin to move your toes and your fingers, gentle movements. Roll your head from side to side. Maybe taking a last stretch with your hands above, kicking your heels out. And when you're ready, bring your knees up over your chest and roll over onto your side, staying on your side with your eyes closed for just a couple of breaths here. When you're ready, press through the hands, keeping your eyes closed. Let's come to your seated position, bringing your hands to your heart, returning to the intention if you set one at the beginning of class, seeing it filled with the loving kindness of your practice, the light and the love from your heart, enveloping that intention, sending that goodness out to the world. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Have a lovely week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Robin.
Again, if there's any questions, anything you're struggling with, please feel free to reach out. Always happy to hear from you and always happy to help. Have a lovely day. I like your kitty, Bridget. It looks like our kitty. I can hear her purring, but cats love yoga. I don't know. They just seem to gravitate to it. Bye now.